Mic check. Oh shit. Mic check. Mic check. All right. Very good. All right. Very good. All right. Check here. I don't know where these. Okay, we got a lot. Here we got this. All right. Hey guys, what's going on? B4 here. Ready to take on the day? And we got quite a few things to talk about. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on recently. We're gonna start with it's been going on here with Trump. Trump signed that peace deal, which is a very critical moment, and something that I think nobody saw coming. Pretty crazy. We have peace in the Middle East thanks to Trump. At least there's a ceasefire, and at least for now. But this is a huge step, and we're going to be talking about that and quite a bit more. So, this is something that I saw here. Uh, this was, and there's a history for this. This is President Trump literally treats French President Macron like a little bitch. Macron tried to get away multiple times. Now, I see. Apparently, they have these two presidents. They have quite a history, and they don't seem to. There's some tough. They don't seem to get along. I wouldn't say I was gonna say tough love, but I don't think there's actually love there. And this is actually kind of crazy. Let's take a look at this here. So you can see that they're talking. Macron is trying to get away. Then Trump kind of changes his grip on him. And they're trying to pass it off. And Trump is like, stare at the camera. And then Macron stares at the camera. Now he starts looking all awkward. It's like, okay, all right, there. I stared at the camera. Right now I want to go. And Trump won't let him go until he finally lets him go. That's kind of crazy. Trump he has a certain way of doing things. He has a certain personality to him. He's very aggressive, and it looks to me like he's trying to be very dominant here. Apparently, this is something that happens between the two, and yeah, I don't. It's funny because Macron is like 40 something. Isn't he like 40 something years old? And Trump is like almost 80. You'd think that Trump will be a little bit more feeble, but it looks like he's still got it. A lot of people are making a big deal out of this, but like, I feel like this is just current day politics. There's a lot of showmanship in current day politics. This is huge. Giorgia Meloni totally disgusted by Macron. She always makes all these faces. But breaking, Macron's doctor has released X-rays following his handshake with President Trump in Egypt today. Oh man. And apparently Macron was, if I remember correctly, he was president during Trump's first term. And he's still president now, so I'm not sure how long the terms are, how long of a presidential term you can have in France. I'm not sure how that works, but it's obviously they're both very successful males. I just thought this was funny though. It's just funny. It's almost like some like some elementary school, kids in the bathroom and they're chest beating and acting all tough, but it's actually world leaders. That's a world we live in today. But yeah, and this is if you guys remember during the COVID times, uh, and the Black Lives Matter ages, during the Black Lives Matter age and the COVID pandemic age, there was a lot of, and in the lead up to that, there was a lot of woke mentality going around. There was even Twitter. That was before that was before Elon had bought Twitter. And you would go on Twitter and there'd just be constant, people constantly talking about how the statues are racist or the flags are racist, or like Christopher Columbus had like slaves or something, or like he took away other people's land and whatever. And to be fair, in my personal opinion, I'm going to give you the real talk. Like, obviously, Christopher Columbus and the Europeans showed up, and then eventually they took over, right? That's just what happens. And that's what's happened all throughout history. This land, the New World, America, that land, like, we humans don't come from there. Humans originated in Africa, right? And eventually humans, immigrated to all other parts of the world once the ice ages came in and the ocean froze over and all of that. And one of those places was America. And guess what? This was a land of like fucking bears. And I know people are going to think this is weird, but guess what? There's other animals in the planet other than humans. This was a land of other animals. And we showed up and we said, this is our shit now. You see that river over there? That's our shit. And the Native Americans came and took that land and said it's ours now. And if anybody came in, if fucking, Bambi came in and said, no, actually, I want this to still be my drinking, I want this to still be my drinking water, and the Native Americans are like, no, this is ours now, right? Guess what would happen? Bambi would get spears chucked at him, bows and arrows, and he would either die or he would run away. And this is exactly what happens in nature. If you ever see like one of those like watering holes in like Africa, where they have like the smaller animals come in and then they're all drinking, and then you have bigger animals come in and the smaller animals leave, and then you have like hyenas come in, and now like the hyenas are like the boss, and the smaller animals are like, okay, if we stay here, these hyenas, or if we say this is our shit now, these hyenas are gonna eat us. So the smaller animals leave as soon as they see the hyenas. Then like the lions show up, right? And then the hyenas are like, oh shit, okay, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get out of here, because if the lions say, this is our shit now, they'll kill us, right? If we say no, if we stay here and try to challenge them in their approach, they're gonna kill us. And it's not going to go well for us, because lions are much more powerful and much bigger than hyenas, right? And then the funniest thing is like, then you have like freaking like I don't know, like rhinos or hippos or something showing up, right? And then like, I don't know, the lions leave, and then finally the elephants show up, and everybody else leaves, because like nobody's gonna mess with the elephants, right? This happens. This is just nature. Everybody wants to survive. But at the same time, you're not going to just get yourself killed trying to drink water. You already drank some. You leave when the big boys show up. And that's exactly what happened. The Native Americans showed up. All the other animals eventually left. In fact, you can look at you can look at the history of of bears in the United States, and you can see what their range was. Bears, an apex predator, nothing other than us, could hunt them. They have no natural predators or anything like that. And bears were all over the United States. And as we came in, bears had to move away, because we were just taking over the land. And eventually, if bears would try to mess with us, we'd shoot them. Right? And so the range of bears started disappearing and disappearing and disappearing. Eventually, the grizzly bear was like locked into like California. And now even from California, my understanding is that there's pretty much no grizzly bears now that are native to that region. They all kind of moved over to Alaska, because that's like the last safe haven. Because like there's not many people that live in Alaska. That's what we did, dog. This was bear land, and we took that shit. And I don't know, some people have like, everybody has like the hero mentality where we always think like we're the good guys, so everything we do is justified. But like, you have to like look outside of that and go, hey, oh shit, we kind of we are the big predator that shows up and we take other people's shit. And that's exactly that's how all the land we've gotten, that's how it was. That's how we got it. We showed up, and anybody tried to fight us, we killed them. And then when the Europeans showed up, guess what happened? The Europeans took the land because they killed anybody that got in the way. Right? There was also, obviously, there was more going on than that. It was a long process, but eventually we got to the point where where the Europeans, did start taking over all of this land here in America. And it is what it is. Winners win, losers lose. That's just a fact of life. It's just a fact of life. And I think people that are complaining about this are just delusional, and they're living on the backs of the winners of the past who provided all of this success, who have created this land and made it what it is. And these people are now just sitting there in their college campuses crying about their success. It's just, I think it's stupid. I understand that you feel bad and whatever, and that sucks. But guess what, bro? It's not just like we glorify Rome. What did Rome do? It ran around everywhere, killing everybody, slaughtering them, and taking their land, and bringing the people that survived, bringing them in as slaves. And Rome is that's like one of like the that's like peak civilization. We one of the greatest like historical figures is like Alexander the Great. What did Alexander the Great do? He ran around all the known world, killed everybody, took their shit, and said, "This land now, it's mine. I own this. This is mine now." And then he went somewhere else and did it all over again. This is just how this is how like this is like the nature of the world. This is how it works. Because if you're a smaller animal, if you're a gazelle and you see a lion coming in, if you stay there, you know you're gonna die. You have to run away. You have to leave that land. You need to leave that space, yield it, and say, okay, this is the lion's space now. It's stupid otherwise. We're wired to survive, right? And so when there's something bigger and scarier that's threatening our survival, the smart thing to do is to leave and let them have it. It's just the rules of the game, man. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. So these guys over here, this is the statue of Christopher Columbus, right? As I was saying before, during the Black Lives Matter, during what I would like to call, what I would like to declare the woke age, the progressive politics age, that was like 2010 to 2020. It was very popular for these people to get very upset. You know, their feelings were hurt. They were very sad about, you know, these historical figures, that we still had these statues, we still had these flags, we still had these memorials about, you know, figures like Christopher Columbus, George Washington, and whatever. Some of these figures owned slaves. Some of these figures did things that are considered no-nos now, so on and so forth. So they decided to run around and take away, you know, either deface, like remove the head, or like take down the statue of historical figures that these people don't like politically. And I thought that was bullshit. This is history. Like, things happen. It is the way things are, what it is. You don't want to go into a fucking caveman, like a historical cave from the caveman age, you know, and then go in there and like throw, like erase the fucking cave paintings that they had, because caveman don't align with you politically, because caveman didn't believe in equal rights for women, or because caveman had slaves or some shit. You know, like, what the fuck? That's stupid, dude. This is our history. This is our heritage. We want to preserve this for the future. Like, we wish we still had cavemen. We wish there was a live caveman right now that we could, like, you know, talk to and, you know, interrogate and like learn from and all of that. But the closest thing we have is these caves. Don't go to these fucking caves and throw paint all over the freaking cave paintings, because the caveman don't have the same politics that you do. It's stupid. So these guys here, this is part of the comeback. We've seen the pendulum swing, and this is the statue of Christopher Columbus, which was defaced and thrown into a river by leftist protesters in Virginia, was relocated to New York under the initiative of Italian Americans last year. So this is, you know, this is people striking back and saying, hey, that is not okay. You know, this is our history. And I think that's awesome. You love to see it.
Just want to say briefly, my name is Father Joe Pavone. I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey. It's my honor to be here today to honor Christopher Columbus and this beautiful statue, especially in a time when so many are trying to rewrite history. We could remember Columbus for the brave, courageous figure he was, who in many ways is responsible for bringing our faith to the new world.
Yeah, and, you know, was Christopher Columbus a perfect, you know, was he God? Was he perfect in every way? Did he never lie? Did he like? Did he never fart? You know? Did he never cuss somebody out? Of course he did, dude. Of course he wasn't perfect because nobody's perfect. Duh. Like, it's all right. But the things that he accomplished, despite his imperfections, were huge and critical to the success that we now have, to the development of the land that we live in, to the creation of the United States. He's a very important figure, and what he achieved was very important. This is kind of like the stuff that's going on now with Trump, where like he's bringing peace to the Middle East. He's having success. He just brokered that ceasefire, which is a huge milestone. And you have people that are, don't agree with him politically, that are then saying, oh, this doesn't matter. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it's lies. It's bullshit. And blah 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 blah. And it's like, do you really care about the Palestinians or not? Like, if you see, there's like a lot of videos out there of Palestinians that are happy and they're throwing parties that there's a ceasefire and that they're not going to get bombed, tonight. That's huge. Imagine being somewhere where you're getting bombed and blown up all the time. And there's a deal that's signed that you're not going to get blown up anymore, at least for a time. Like, that's fucking amazing. They should be out there partying. And guess what? They are. And yet there's people that are mad. It's the same shit. It's like, it can't be, because Trump has done things in the past that they don't agree with, nothing that Trump does now can be good. Because Christopher Columbus has perhaps done things in the past that these people don't agree with, nothing he has done can be good. Nothing he has done can be celebrated. And that's just stupid. That's a stupid way of thinking. Like, that's not how humans work. Nobody's perfect. You're never going to find anybody that's perfect. And you're never going to find somebody that agrees with you about everything. It's all about, like, this is why we have diplomacy. Because people are different. You got to meet people in the middle.
So we pray together in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, source of all grace and holiness, look kindly on your servants who have placed this image of Christopher, the friend and co-heir of Christ, in this place.
That's freaking great. And there's probably going to be people that are going to show up at some point and try to throw paint over it or whatever. But I think you have to keep up the good fight. I think you got to keep up the good fight. You can't give up and just, let them run around doing this shit. They be fighting back if like people that like, I don't know, are centrist or something, or people that are like, right wing, were doing the same shit to historical figures that they like. He discovered America is what he did. He was a brave Italian explorer. Oh, man. Here's to Christopher Columbus, the only illegal immigrant the left ever hated. In this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, man, this AI stuff has gotten crazy. Hi, I'm Christopher Columbus. I brought some very much needed diversity to America. Absolutely. So speaking about the Trump situation, and the ceasefire that has been signed. So apparently, Obama is really frustrated that Trump completely obliterated his work as president. And Obama now has to watch the world realize what a real president can accomplish. Everyone on the planet is realizing just how pathetic Obama and Biden were. This is according to a Wall Street map. So if like, I'm pretty sure Obama, he received a Nobel Peace Prize for some of the stuff that he's done. Now there's talk that it's becoming harder and harder for some believe that Trump should have gotten a Nobel Peace Prize in his first term, but because he is such a figure that is probably not very popular by the kinds of people that give out these awards, he didn't get it, right? And it's becoming harder and harder for them to deny Trump, right? Especially with what's going on now in the Middle East. So here's Obama talking about it. Let's see what he has to say.
I mean, what was unusual for me was obviously. I mean, what was unusual for me was obviously a lot of what I represented.
Yeah.
A lot of what Michelle and I had tried to project, the values, are thinking about America. You know, my successor seemed to represent the opposite.
Trump.
Right.
Not seemed, did.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, some fear among a big chunk of the country. And I mean, what was unusual for me
Sure,
was
Obama. Sure, okay.
Obviously.
And there's more on this. So he made a statement. Obama made a statement. Can I go to Obama's X account? Obama, here we go. So let's see. He did make a statement, but I am not. Did he delete it? Oh no, that's not it. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the statement he made after they released the hostages, and Trump signed this peace deal, or when Trump was set up to sign the peace deal. So after 2 years of unimaginable loss and suffering for Israeli families and the people of Gaza, we should all be encouraged and relieved that an end to the conflict is within sight. That those hostages still being held will be reunited with their families, and that vital aid can begin reaching those inside Gaza whose lives have been shattered. More than that, though, it now falls on Israelis and Palestinians, with the support of the U.S. and the entire world community, to begin the hard task of rebuilding Gaza and to commit to a process that, by recognizing the common humanity and basic rights of both peoples, can achieve a lasting peace. So that's here we go, President Barack Obama. And I'm not sure if it shows up here. It doesn't. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of posts here, but it doesn't show up here, but I can find it because CNN had something to say about this. So let's take a look at that. And this is surprising because this is from Sky News Australia. This is surprising because CNN, as you know, is a very American left-wing media channel, right? And it's very clear that they support left-wing politics. They pull their punches whenever they're talking about left-wing politicians, and they're very harsh on right-wing politicians in America. So let's see what they have to say about this.
CNN has spectacularly and surprisingly slammed Barack Obama.
Honestly, it's not unfair to say if President Obama's going to write a whole post about a peace deal, maybe he should acknowledge the president.
And the post that they're talking about is the one that I just read to you guys. So
brokered it.
If Donald Trump gets a peace deal, he deserves the credit.
The criticism came.
Look at that. Look at that. They're criticizing Obama. See, you have to understand that Obama was a sacred cow of CNN. Like, when Obama came in, like, there was actually a lot of reports that would come out back in the day of CNN essentially, not just CNN, MSNBC, these left-wing media channels would essentially bend over for Obama. And whenever something bad would happen for Obama, they would go very easy on him. Whenever there was criticism against Obama, sometimes they wouldn't even cover it, right? And it's, if you see on the right-hand side, there's a channel that does something similar in the United States, and that's Fox News. Fox News does the same thing, but towards right-wing candidates. So there's a big bias there. So the fact that this is CNN that's saying this and not Fox News, it's a big fucking deal.
After the former president wrote a lengthy post on X that celebrated the end of the war but gave no recognition of Donald Trump's pivotal brokering of the deal. The post read, after 2 years of...
Yeah, I wonder why. And obviously Obama, if you put yourself in Obama's shoes, it's very clear that Trump right now has a very good track record. And there's some great things that he did in terms of geopolitics in his first term. And there's some crazy things that he's doing now, especially in a time when we have these big wars, these big humanitarian crises that are happening in Gaza and are happening in Ukraine, right? And Trump is doing quick, effective work. While you look at what Obama did, Obama essentially made the situation with Russia and Ukraine worse. And Biden essentially, it was under his watch that Ukraine got invaded because Russia took him as soft and weak. And then all Biden did was just supply more and more money to Ukraine, but there was never any real attempt to try to bring these sides to the negotiating table, which is something that Trump has done.
Unimaginable loss and suffering for Israeli families and the people of Gaza, we should all be encouraged and relieved that an end to the conflict is within sight, that those hostages still being held will be reunited with their families, and that vital aid can start reaching those inside Gaza whose lives have been shattered. More than that though, it now falls on Israelis and Palestinians with the support of the US and the entire world community to begin the hard task of rebuilding Gaza, and to commit to a process that by recognizing the common humanity and basic rights of both people can achieve the lasting peace. Donald Trump Jr. lashed out the post, cheekily adding, "I'll finish it for..."
This is what I was looking for. I was looking for Donald Trump Jr.'s tweet, his reply to Obama. "I'll finish it for you. Thank you, Donald Trump." Damn. What a burn. Like, holy shit. I'm surprised it wasn't at the top, but you know, these things get cycled in and out based on the algorithm. But that's huge. Like, and Obama's having a tough time, by the way, because if you remember, the Obama coalition was the coalition that that was formed during his time as president, right? When he won, and he won back to back, he won twice, and then after that, when Hillary was selected to run for president in 2016, it was backed by the Obama coalition. When Biden was selected to run for president in 2020, it was backed by the Obama coalition because Obama was essentially the big boss behind the Democratic Party, right? And that's because Obama had been so successful. He had done such a great job that, you know, he eventually, everybody just kind of yielded to him. And when everything went down with Biden in 2024, when Kamala took over, and Kamala was a shit show, and she was defeated massively by Trump, Obama's grip over the Democratic Party flatlined. And that's where we're at now. Now you have Trump that's having all this success. This is just basically like it's nails in the coffin. Like, Obama was already having a bad time in terms of his legacy. There was an article before that was written about insider knowledge, talking about how Obama felt with Trump, and how he felt that Trump was essentially threatening. And this was before this election. Trump was threatening, you know, his achievements and what Obama had achieved under his time, and how the world would perceive Obama's legacy. So if there's any hint of truth in that, I believe it, especially given this. Like, Obama does not like Trump. If you remember, the reason why Trump ran, in part, was because Obama was making jokes about him and laughing at him and ganging up on him in that one dinner party. And it made it seem like Trump was a joke. He wasn't going to be a serious contender. And guess what? The rest is history.
For you. Thank you, Donald Trump. Online commentators were left shocked that CNN called out the former president, with this person saying, CNN calling out Obama, pigs are flying, and this person agreed, saying, hell just froze over. In addition to Obama's refusal to acknowledge Trump's part in the peace deal, Anthony Blinken also tried to undermine Trump, which the president called a joke.
And they were in places that you don't want to know about. Deep.
Some of the top Biden administration folks who were there, like Anthony Blinken, seem to want some credit for the peace deal. Blinken says it's good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan that the Biden administration developed. What do you think about that?
Everybody knows that's such a...
Yeah, you know, Biden did this. Biden was getting... See, Biden, he had 4 years to get this done, and he was just getting around to it. He was almost there. You know, if Biden was president right now, this would have already happened. All Trump is doing is progressing what Biden had already set up. Biden had gotten it to 80%, and Trump just did the last 20%. That's what happened.
Look, they did such a bad job. This should have never happened. This wouldn't have even happened. That was weak leadership, terrible. And the same thing with Russia, Ukraine. If just a decent president, not a great president like me. Not a great president.
Like me. You know, just a decent president would be enough. Not a great president like me.
Decent president was in, you wouldn't have had...
Let me see that again.
Just a decent president, not a great president like me. Not a great president. If a decent president was in, you wouldn't have had the Russia-Ukraine. And this is, I would say, even more so. This was bad policy by Biden and by Obama. Remember when Bibi came and he begged that you not do what they were doing with Iran?
See, this is why Obama was mad. He probably saw this.
You remember that, right? Begged them. And they wouldn't even listen to him. Everything they did was the opposite of what you should have done. And it's nice that they try and take a little credit. That was years ago, and the mistakes were made years ago, and it was both by Biden and Obama.
And whilst Obama and Blinken continued to ignore President Trump's groundbreaking strides forward, another former Trump rival is taking the high road. Hillary Clinton praised Trump for the peace deal.
Yeah, if you remember, Hillary went on record and said that if Trump brings peace to the Middle East, that she is going to personally recommend Trump for a Nobel Prize. So, like, I mean, but it seemed to me like one of those situations where it's like, he's never going to do it. So, yeah, I'll totally support him. I'll totally do this and that if he does it, if he accomplishes it. But we know that it's a long shot. And yet, here we are.
It's a really significant first step, and I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after.
And the mainstream media seemingly have
no, this is great. This is good news. There are all these people that are mad and upset because Trump is doing this. It doesn't matter who's doing this. What matters is that it's getting done. People need to put aside their like tribalistic mentality and just give credit where credit is due.
No choice but to congratulate Trump on brokering the deal.
We've heard it again and again from a number of people today, really giving credit to President Trump for getting this deal over the finish line. What are you hearing from your sources with regard to President Trump's role in getting both parties to sign off on at least the first phase of this peace plan?
Well, certainly this is an enormous moment for the world, but also for this administration, a big win for the president, who has been very personally involved in this, Lindsay.
MSNBC doubled down on the praise.
And Joe Biden could never do that. And Donald Trump...
Oh, damn. This is an MSNBC? The Washington Post columnist, David Ignatius. Wow. On Morning Joe. It's Morning Joe. Joe Biden is getting called out. Damn. That's crazy.
And for the president, who has been very personally involved in this, Lindsay.
MSNBC doubled down on the praise.
And Joe Biden could never do that. And Donald Trump was able to do it. Did it at the decisive moment when he said, essentially, this war must end.
Wow. And Donald Trump himself acknowledged the unity across political lines that this peace deal has brought.
Oh, hey, Loyalty. Hey, nice to see you. Yeah. I'm back. Yeah. But you know, I took a extended break, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm back. I'm back at it, back in it, you know. So it's nice to see you. Yeah. It was, it was a long time. But yeah, I'm good. You know, just here trying to do my thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Talking about Trump here and the peace deal and Obama, his response. Yeah, no, I'm here. I'll try to. I always say this. I'll try to be here every day, but like, you know, yeah, no, I will try to be here every day. It's got to be part of my thing. Yeah. You got busy on your side? No, it's fine, man. Like, I just like you know, you don't have to feel like there's any responsibility or anything like that. If I'm on and you're on, you can be here. If not, it's fine. But yeah, I gotta work on being more consistent. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's cool, man. But yeah, thanks for being here, and you know, thanks for supporting me. And it's nice to be back. You didn't message me on. Oh no, I'll check that later. I also got a new PC, so my PC's a little better now. But that's not gonna make an actual difference. I had before, there was that one time I played that Dark Souls stream. Dark Souls 1 ran like crap on my old PC when I would go into the part where the lava. And this time now it doesn't. Now it runs pretty good. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, and now I can actually stream a little bit in higher quality. But yeah, maybe later on I'll be playing a little bit of video games. Not too much, but you know, it's nice that I can do it now. Because before, there's a lot of games that I couldn't even play on that thing. I had like I don't know if you know about computers, but I had like a GTX 1070. That thing was old. That thing's like 9 years old now, or 8. Yeah, it's 9 years old. Yeah, it's an old ass computer. So yeah. But yeah.
Special time, and I guess if you read your own papers and your own networks, everybody's very excited about this moment in time. So I'll see you on the plane. I think you're traveling with us, but this is a very special event. They had 500,000 people yesterday and today in Israel, and also the Muslim and Arab countries are all cheering. Everybody's cheering at one time. That's never happened.
Yeah, and everybody's celebrating. Everybody should be celebrating. You know, there's all these people whose lives, as I said earlier, these people were used to getting bombed all the time, and now they're gonna have some degree of peace. You know, however long that may last. That's a great thing. Everybody should be happy about this.
Happened before. Usually, if you have one cheering, the other isn't. The other is the opposite. This is the first time everybody is amazed and they're thrilled, and it's an honor to be involved, and we're going to have an amazing time, and it's going to be something that's never happened before. So I'll see you on the plane, and we're going to have a good time. Okay, Peter? Nice to see you. Thank you, everybody. See you in a little while.
And Trump is right.
And yeah, it's true. It is a ceasefire. It is, it's not something it's not like this is like a big old, like it's over for good, but it's a great freaking start. And it's something that they've been working on for so long, and it just hadn't panned out. And now it's actually here. Like, man, could you imagine being in Palestine right now? Like today is a day of celebration. Like you can actually have peace. Party away and not fear that you're not gonna wake up tomorrow. So yeah, man. Let's hope that it can continue to be on track, and the next steps can also be met. Look at this. This is them. Yeah, this is in Gaza. Look at this. These people are happy, man. Like they're just human beings. They're excited. Things are good. They have music that's playing in the background. Everybody's got cameras. You look at these people's faces. Look at all the smiles. Look at this. They're all smiling. Like, it's a great time, man. And yet you have people over here in the United States who, perhaps because they may not like Trump personally or whatever, they're upset. They're not happy. They're out there protesting. They're saying that, throwing shade over these accomplishments, saying that, oh, it doesn't count, or it's not actually like gonna last, or this or that. It's like, come on, man. Like, be positive, at least in this day. At least do it for them, right? Because if you care about Palestine, at least be happy with them while the peace lasts.
But an end to the war and the release of hostages is not enough for activists of the West, with pro-Palestine protests continuing across the globe despite the peace deal being made, like in Montreal, Canada, where Antifa was chanted.
Look at this. You can't have... It's never enough. It's never enough. The actual people that are, who have their lives on their line, who are getting bombed, this is like the best day, man. This is like Christmas to them. They're happy as hell. And yet these people over here, safe in Canada, in the West, living in a first world country, who have absolute no fear of being attacked by another nation or getting bombed or anything like that, they're upset. This is bad. Like, we need to protest. We need to march. Like, come on, man.
Said pro-Palestinian Islamists take over the streets of Montreal, Canada. Despite the war being over, they say their work is not done and the protests will continue. It was never about Palestine. It's about destroying the West.
And I wouldn't say, to be fair, like, these people, as I always try to say, these people are humans too. They're all people. They all have everybody's trying to look out for their own. Right. And I don't think that these people are really genuinely, like, not everybody there is genuinely out to destroy the West. But I do think that there's a lot of people that are just, they don't want to see Trump win. They don't want to see these types of deals being signed. They're not happy. Some of them are like, oh, unless you have a 2-state solution, you can't, nothing counts. And it's like, bro, you got to live in the real world. Like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. Sometimes you got to take your W's, man. May not be a king W, but you got to, may not be the best W, but you got to work with what you got. Yeah, man, I feel bad too. Like, it sucks being in that situation. It just fucking sucks, to be honest. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, today was my test stream, so I'm gonna end it here. It's a little early, I know, but I actually been working on this a lot today. It's just I just went live to make sure that everything was good. But yeah, it's nice seeing you again, Loyalty. Yeah. Today was my first setup on my new computer and everything, so it took a while. But it's nice seeing you here. I'm gonna hopefully be back tomorrow. Hopefully be here every day for the time being. And thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And maybe that's why your name is Loyalty. But I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one.